Could anyone actually survive what's in the new Paradise trailer? Scientists didn't wait for the show to ask. They tested it decades ago. For real. On real people. Underground. Premise. A hidden community. Sealed underground, years after a catastrophe no one saw coming. What they found out is stranger than the trailer. In the 1950s, a researcher named Donald Hebb ran an experiment that still shapes how we think about isolation today. Volunteers were cut off from almost all sensation. No sight, muffled sound, nothing to touch. So now pans that will be in your up. It took only hours for most of them to get uncomfortable. By day 1, thinking clearly already started slipping. By day 2, some volunteers were hallucinating. The experiment was designed to run a full week. Almost nobody made it that far. Lesson 1. Total sensory blankness breaks the mind fast, but that's not actually what a bunker looks like. A sealed community isn't sensory deprivation, it's confinement with other people. And that changes everything. So researchers went looking for real-world groups living exactly like that and found them at the bottom of the planet. Antarctic winter over crews spend months sealed in together, fully aware of the exact day it ends. Researchers noticed something odd. Morale doesn't fall steadily. It holds, then drops hard around the middle. Call it the third quarter effect. The psychological low point isn't at the start of isolation. It's after the halfway mark. Then, strangely, spirits climb again as the actual end gets close. Here's the detail worth remembering. The ones who stayed active held up noticeably better than the ones who didn't. Passive isolation wears the mind down. Purposeful isolation, with a task, a role, a reason to move, doesn't hit the same way. Researchers pushed this further with a 12-month isolation study near the South Pole. 13 volunteers, tracked the entire time. They wanted to know, what actually predicts who holds up and who doesn't? The strongest predictor wasn't fitness, or intelligence, or even prior experience. It was something called secure attachment style, a general sense of trust in yourself and other people, formed well before the mission ever started. Securely attached volunteers reported less psychological distress and even showed different patterns in stress-related biology. Only 13 people, an early finding, not a settled fact, but a striking one, which maps almost too neatly onto shows like this one. A community's real strength was never the bunker's walls. Now contrast all of that with solitary confinement, which is its own, much harsher category of research entirely. Decades of solitary confinement research documents agitation, hallucination, and severe psychological harm, often faster and more severe than group isolation ever produces. The presence of other people isn't a minor detail. It's one of the biggest variables in the entire equation. So here's the real checklist researchers actually landed on. 1. A structured role or task, not just time to fill. 2. Real, functioning relationships with the people around you. 3. A baseline sense of trust, built long before the crisis ever started. 4. A known endpoint, even a rough one. Uncertainty about when it ends is its own separate stressor. None of that requires a bunker to matter. All 4 apply just as much to a long winter, a hard year, or a stressful stretch at home. My sound did it doesn't dreamist said right. So, does the Paradise trailer get it right? The tension and secrecy make for great television. The actual research suggests the real threat is quieter. Boredom, drift, and losing your sense of purpose. Which, honestly, is a little less dramatic and a lot more useful to actually know. Because most of us will never see a real bunker, but almost everyone will face a long, isolating stretch of some kind. The same 4 things that kept researchers' steady underground work just as well up here. Structure, connection, trust, and a visible endpoint. Give your day even one piece of real structure, and the whole thing gets easier to carry. And on the reset, the nervous system side of that equation, researchers keep landing on the same small tool, a short, consistent daily pause. It's part of why this channel keeps coming back to Pausar, a few minutes a day, built for exactly the kind of overstimulation most of us live in, bunker or not. Turns out, the most interesting part of the Paradise trailer isn't what's in the bunker. It's what decades of real research already knew about people, long before this show did. Subscribe for more real psychology behind whatever's trending this week. And check the link below for a free daily pause built for minds that could use a little less bunker mode. And if this one got you thinking, there's more where that came from. Right there. See you in the next one.